Okay, so it looks like everything's running. Hey everybody, so we're live, or actually we're not live, I'm not doing a live stream here. Um, right now I'm uploading several more lectures of my new class on 3D modeling with Metashape. And so this week we're going to see the final announcement, and I'm going to be looking for a couple of folks to test the class out. So leave a note in the comments. I'll be telling you about that very shortly. In the meantime, while I'm waiting on things to upload, because Cable One has great download speed but horrifying upload speed, while I'm waiting, I wanted to talk to you about a couple things that have come up over the weekend, actually. So, number one, what I've been seeing out of the Prescott Airport, that's KPRC here in Prescott, Arizona, is a lot of slurry bombers. So, we've got some fire issues starting up in Arizona, and that's nothing new. This is a desert state, and this is one of the things that happens going into the summer. So we've got some controlled burns going on, and we've got some not controlled burns going on. And this is relevant to drone pilots very simply because don't get in the way of safety officials and safety workers doing their jobs. Keep your drones out of their way. All right. If you're invited to the site and working with them, that's one thing. But if you are flying, you could be totally botching up aerial support. So all weekend long, we've seen the slurry bombers coming in and out. It's not happening right here in Prescott, but I'm looking over on SkyVector. And so SkyVector is fantastic. We've got all our sectional charts here. So here is the Prescott area. We could actually zoom in on that, but that's KPRC right now. And so we've got our info on that. And we've got some red circles out here. So TFR 9/1431, fire effective 610 to 710. Okay, so that is a temporary flight restriction area. Don't put your drone anywhere near it. We've got another fire TFR heading down toward the Phoenix area. So we have multiple temporary flight restrictions. We don't have temporary flight restrictions here in Prescott, but I would advise you to keep your eyes on the sky if you are flying in the controlled airspace area, because they've been pretty low flying over our place. And I've seen in past seasons incredibly low flights. So we're really close to Love Field, that's KPRC. And with that in mind, there is some extra caution going on. So while we don't have TFRs right here, you should operate in a wary fashion. That's just my recommendation. A couple of years ago, I was out of town in Springerville, Arizona, and doing work for a client at the start of the summer. And we had a fire very close by, the Dewey Mayer Humboldt area, which is really close to Prescott. And somebody flew their drone in that area. And that drone shut down fire support, aerial fire support, for quite some time. The person who was flying it was picked up eventually. I don't know FAA fines, what charges or anything. I do know that the police came and got him, and then I know they released him. But every time for months afterward, when people saw me flying a drone, they asked me, "Hey, are you the guy that was flying in the fire?" No, absolutely not. Was out of town, number one. Number two, I wouldn't do that. So if you're a hobbyist or a Part 107 pilot, make sure to check out the temporary flight restrictions before you go flying. We'll be seeing more flight restrictions in the desert Southwest, I'm sure, because the forest fires happen here, both controlled and uncontrolled. Sometimes the controlleds turn into uncontrolled. All right, so with all that said, and you've seen the SkyVector, which is an absolutely awesome online tool. And if you want to, get a real feel for airspace, check out SkyVector, and you can see. So I'm right over here near KPRC. This is not far away, this temporary flight restriction. This area could be expanded overnight. You don't know. So you need to regularly check the advisories. Also, pop on by before you fly. That's the app from the FAA. And also pop on by 800WX Brief before you're doing your flights. So SkyVector and 800WX Brief are something that I regularly check every time I'm going out for flights. Speaking of flights and things around Prescott, and you see our controlled airspace here, I'm dropping this one down really quick. as everybody's been talking about this, so I wanted to just chat about it for a second with Prescott in mind. So there have been changes in the rules for the hobbyists. Some of these are temporary changes, and they'll be developing something over time. One of the big things is right now for hobbyists, if you don't have a Part 107 certification, you're not flying in a lot of the Prescott area now. And that's because it is controlled airspace. So a lot of folks on this channel have seen my pretty videos going over Watson Lake and Willow Lake and the Granite Dells. And I am a Part 107 certificate holder, so I can use the LAANC system. And currently, hobbyists cannot use the LAANC system. And if we pop up on Kitty Hawk here, so this is a map for the Prescott area. All these blocks here that you are seeing are part of the controlled airspace. So I can still operate in here, submitting through the LAANC system, and that's fantastic. But as hobbyists, if you're coming here and you're looking to have a fun visit in the Prescott area, and you also want to do some flying, and you'd like to show off the Granite Dells and Watson Lake, I'm terribly sorry to say, as of June 10th, that's today, you are not, as a hobbyist, flying here. You're not calling the control tower, and you don't have access to LAANC yet. And right down here where I'm clicking, that is Watson Lake and Willow Lake. But the greater area north of downtown Prescott is controlled airspace. Where my mouse is going right now, that is downtown Prescott, so that's right on the edge of controlled airspace. But so a lot of the areas that you can do some really cool video work with a drone are currently closed off to hobbyists. So I'm sure changes will be forthcoming as quickly as possible from the FAA so that hobbyists can get back to flying in these areas. In the meantime, though, if you're in controlled airspace, you can go to the AMA rec fields and fly there, but they might not necessarily be the gorgeous, amazing locations like the Granite Dells. So, I get that you're missing out, and I hope the FAA fixes things soon for you. In the meantime, one of my suggestions would simply be go ahead and get your Part 107. It's not a terribly painful test, and then you can also do commercial work, and you can upload stuff to your YouTube channel and monetize your YouTube channel. Because if you have a monetized YouTube channel and you're only a hobbyist and you're putting videos up, you're actually furthering a business with that monetized YouTube channel, so you need the Part 107. So if you love flying and you want to be able to fly some of these areas in the meantime, that 107 test was not painful, and I'm sure you'll pass it if you're already regularly flying and into drones. All right, everyone, that's it. I'm going to get back to work and get this class finished off for you guys, finally. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great start to the week. Today's Monday here for me, and it's hot and windy out, and it's feeling more like Arizona. Those extra cool temps are finally going away. As always, fly safe and have fun, and thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a few. We'll see you on the next video.